Well, I want to be very clear about this. The war on guns is very real. It has been for a while, and it starts with the battle against the NRA. As Democrats in Congress push legislation aimed at destroying the Second Amendment, they know they have to go through the National Rifle Association. But here's the problem. Gun sales are surging. So is membership at the National Rifle Association. Both make gun-hating liberals cringe, all right? I love it. Consider this. One of the worst bills filed now during this Congress is a clear attack on gun owners. It calls for mandatory registrations of all firearms, psychological evaluations before you purchase guns. Give me a break. A federal license to own guns and even ammunition, all unconstitutional. The list in that bill, by the way, goes on and on and on. But there are other anti-gun battles going on across the country, too. The anti-freedom left is recruiting city and states to wage war on gun owners and the NRA. In Fairfax, Virginia, home to the NRA's headquarters, the city council wants to virtually ban guns from public places with no regard for concealed carry permit holders either. And it is no coincidence, in my opinion, that this all-out gun ban comes from a liberal city council where the NRA is housed as its home city, Fairfax. It is meant as an attack on that organization. Here to discuss is the executive director for the NRA's Institute for Legislative Action, Jason Ouimet. Jason, great to have you back on the show.
Grant, thanks for having me. Good to be back.
Jason, I can't believe it's a coincidence that Fairfax now wants a gun ban when the headquarters is right there smack in the middle of that city.
Grant, it's no coincidence. We've expected this. This is something we've seen evolving here. And this is why we filed suit in this space. We're not going to tolerate that. But to your point, this is exactly what they do, and it's what we expected, and we're going to continue to fight it.
All right, what's interesting is we've got the same battle now going on in Congress with these outrageous laws. You know, my time working with the NRA, you can take the California model, can't you, where, you know, it could have been a lot worse in California if it wasn't for all the lawsuits the NRA filed to stop some of that stuff. Maybe that can help the members of Congress where Democrats can really just ram stuff down throats right now.
Look, this is one of the big things about President Trump doing what he did with the courts and all the support that we provided for that and making sure that we had pro 2A judges up on those courts so that, yes, that's exactly right. We will use those courts at this point to push back on some of this legislation. You mentioned it at the opening of this, H.R. 127. What an egregious bill. And it starts with the basic premise that that gun control it's designed, right? All the goals of the gun control ultimately is designed to fewer law-abiding Americans with firearms. Multiple ways to do that. Ban ammo and firearms outright. Put obstacles in place so that it's impossible for somebody to actually comply with this. Make it so expensive. Those are both failed approaches. And this bill that you mentioned finds a way to marry those failed approaches together. And some of the stuff that you talked about in there, just to add to that, another one of the components of that I was literally appalled at, shotgun shells. Anything larger than .410 is going to be banned as far as ammunition, 20 gauge, 12 gun, or 12 gauge. It's just, what an extreme bill, and it just goes to show where they're looking to go to on this issue.
Well, you talk about egregious. That's what it is. And I think the Democrats know that even though it's unconstitutional, it can get held up in courts, even favorable courts, for a while, and then the people suffer. Let me ask you now about this bankruptcy case, because there's a lot of misinformation about this. This allows you really just to reorganize. What's been the response from members, the board of directors at the NRA? How is that going? And lay it out for me.
You're exactly right. This is exactly what it is. It's a restructuring. It's a Chapter 11. It's not a Chapter 7. The response has been overwhelming. Membership is growing. Our folks are so excited about this. They see the opportunity for us to reincorporate in a great state like Texas.
Well, it's being creative as well to get around what the Attorney General, the state of New York, is doing. And you want to talk about political persecution, Jason Ouimet. It is absolutely horrible. And if it's not the NRA, it could be some other organization next, correct?
That's exactly right. It could happen to anybody. I would, folks, caution folks, whether you're on the left or the right, just watch what can happen and how you can immediately become a victim of a political witch hunt. That's exactly what happened to us.
Hey, real quick, you know, I still got some friends up there at headquarters. I'm told membership's coming way down as far as age, that we got a lot of younger members joining the NRA, correct?
We've got a lot of younger people. We are very excited about it. I'll also add, look, we want everybody who's 2A across the board. We don't care about anything, but I got to tell you, seeing a surge in African American as well as women joining the NRA, and the youth, it really is fantastic. And we're growing, and we're growing fast, and it's really good.
Well, no surprise with the amount of gun sales that happened in January and really the months leading up to this. It's been amazing. Jason Ouimet, I appreciate what you do at the NRA. I know you guys are constantly under attack, but no gun owners out there in America support you and appreciate the work that you do. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant. Thanks again for having me. I always enjoy coming on your show.
Absolutely. We love having you. Thanks again.